Hello, this is Sarah Cole. I use she, her pronouns. I am, as you can see, I'm all decorated in trans pride throughout me. Just got out of a Zoom call meeting with Laverne Cox, my university at IU, did it, and I was disappointed not to find out that I couldn't. Then we could see each other's videos, but I did just look anyways because it's trans visibility for me. And so I did my eyeshadow, my lips, stick pink and some blue. I don't know if you can have pink, blue, and have pink this way. I did trans pride and my earrings and my necklace. Anyways, if you can subscribe, and follow me. Links on the bottom. Please thumbs up it. Anyways, this is Sarah Cole. For those who haven't seen it, anyways, the title of the show is Fighting Transphobia and Involving Fundamentalism Christianity. I want to talk about people like Ben Shapiro, Caitlin Bennett, who are prominent anti-LGBTQ plus and anti-trans people, and Girl Defined, Paula Morgan. I'm going to drag all these guys to the mud. They all are out there fighting against people like me existing in the world. No, I am not a man. I use she, her pronouns. I am a woman who was assigned birth as male. I still have my genitalia. But anyways, we're not talking about that. Anyways, I haven't had surgery, so that's the point. That's the whole key thing. Anyways, I am not a threat to people and to women and children out there. I am who I say I am. I'm not doing this to gain access to the women's bathroom. I am a woman, and I've always had these feelings. These feelings have been innate through me throughout my life. I have had, I was suppressed, oppressed. It caused me to suppress my feelings for the longest time because of my family. I grew up in a Church of Christ Christian Republican household, where the patriarchy, my dad was on top and I'm down, kind of thing. And my dad, at the time I was go act feminine, act girly, he would do everything he could to get me to suppress those feelings. And yes, he did that by whipping me with the belt. In fact, I was learning this year that a friend of mine, an old friend of my mom's, who's no longer friends with her these days, she cut ties with my mom is because she couldn't be, not because my mom, but because my dad. The fact that mom condoned his actions at the time, but one time I acted too girly for my dad, and he turned around and smacked me across the mouth, trying to get me to suppress it. And the more I got suppressed, the more I got pressed, the more I suppressed my feelings. I had to build up a character that I didn't identify with, for my safety standpoint. Anyways, so I built up this macho like self that I had to be around him to get his love and support, and I was able to bury that for so long. But I mean, every so often it would pop back up. Like my 8th grade year, I remember this one girl wore this one outfit, and I still remember to this day the outfit she wore. It tells you anything. I would dream of myself wearing that outfit back then. Oh, we got to look at a memory before that. Actually, my 8-year-old. When I was 8 years old for Christmas, I was like 8 years old, and August, and then of course December that year for Christmas. My parents asked me to look at the shopping guide, the thing that the catalog. There's to good ideas for what I can ask for Christmas. And so I looked in there what I wanted to put on there. And I was 8 years old in 1985. That gives you any idea. So I was like a stereotypical 80s girl that didn't want to. No, I didn't know that. I didn't have those verbiage back then, but I knew I wasn't like the boys. Let's put it that way. I wanted all these stereotypical 80s girls' toys. I wanted Rainbow Bride. I wanted Barbie's dream house, Barbie's car. I wanted a toy doll and a carrot buggy and all, and I wanted to play kitchen. Rainbow Bright, Cabbage Patch Dolls, Pound Puppies, which a lot of people don't talk about Pound Puppies, but I wanted those so badly. But any of these things here you think of, I wanted, but I couldn't put those down on my list because I knew that my dad would have said, no, those are for girls, that's not for boys, and just knew that. And okay, it's back up into after my 8th grade year, like that story. Those girl feelings didn't come back up until I was a junior year in high school. And I saw these dresses at my mom's. I don't know why they were in my closet because I didn't put them there. I didn't sleepwalk. I never have, in fact. But they were there. I'm at the house that they live at now. As far as I know, they still do. They have plenty of closet space. They could have put it in their master bedroom and had plenty of space, but they were mine. There's 2 dresses, and I remember getting in one day. I saw them, and I closed the door to my bedroom and locked it. And I changed out my clothes and got into one dress at a time. I was afraid to do it for too long. So I hurried, take them off, put back away, put my clothes back on, and resume whatever. I don't know what I was doing at the time before that. And went to do that instead. And then 18 down the road, later I was just like doing laundry. It's like any other Saturday at the time. I was doing laundry at my parents, and typically I went to their house for breakfast and did start my laundry before that, and then I had lunch and then dinner. And I did more laundry and continued to get through because I had a lot of clothes to get through. And then I try and get them before dinner. So I pack them up, and then after dinner we have dessert. Watch you guys eat dessert and dinner even. And Mom's sitting home with leftovers. Where was I going with this? My parents came home from their trip from Walmart. And they told me about an ex-coworker of mine, because I used Upwork 7 years later, previously, before transition, of course. And they said that my friend, my coworker, and tell me about it. I knew her by a different name back then, pronouns, and they talked about how Amber was on their arm. And so I, at the time, being ignorant as I was, because I was born into a Christian conservative home, and this was all drilled into me. stopped my ears. I didn't realize it. I said I was going to save him. And I had heard during my time that God worked in mysterious ways, and I didn't understand to a degree. But it's like shortly after that proclamation to my mom that I ran into a story about a boy. Now this is kind of like me, but kind of not like me. But it got the wheels started. Just to say, this story got the wheels turning. I don't know if you guys heard about the Princess Boy. Anyways, his mom Cheryl wrote a book about it. About how her son loves things pink and sparkly, but still not defines as a boy, but doesn't want to dress like a boy. And if you look at his story later on, he's still present himself. He still says he's a boy, and he still wears what stereotypical girl clothes, and you would say gender non-conforming. But anyways, it got me thinking. Well, what would I look like in girl clothes? But I did the copy and paste pictures of me, myself, and then put girl clothes over my body in pictures, and just to see what I look like. It sparked curiosity in me, just put that way. And it took me a long time to build the courage to go out and buy girl clothes and makeup and a wig. And at the time, I was identifying as a cross-dresser. Just another way of suppressing my feelings, but I didn't know at the time. And so I would dress up every so often, and for what cross-dressers wear cross-dress for, why. But one night I went to bed literally wearing a dress, still feeling like a boy that loves girl clothes. Well, let's just say those feelings were all gone by the next day. And these feelings of me being a girl, and that who was living as a boy, or as a case, man, if you want technical, and those feelings have progressed over time. And that's before hormones got into play. But I had this tattoo right here, and this is a trigger warning, people. But what got me to come out to transition. So if you don't want to hear about this, you can click off it or watch it later on. Fast forward it, past it. But this is the story that got me to come out and transition. At the time, this was I was socially transitioning, but only part-time. So I was working the gender. It sucks that I was having birth, trying to live his life, and try to keep this whole charade up to my parents. They didn't know a thing, and especially my dad. And then I was living as my true self, Sarah, and I went from my apartment at the time I was living at, not the one I live in now, but a different apartment like 4 apartments ago. And this is before I got homeless, let's put that way. Yes, trans people do really good. They get to experience homelessness, and it's not fun. I'll talk about that in another video, maybe. But anyways, this is hard. Yeah. But anyways, I was in my apartment one morning, getting ready for the day. I can't remember what it was, work or whatever, or just doing something, day off stuff. But it's been to me years ago. But almost 8 years ago. In fact, I was 8 or 9 years ago. So yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah, trans people, we do have. I have stories. I was in the bathroom just doing like a normal day, look like normal days, in the shower, getting ready, and all of a sudden, I remember this. I used to have this towel I don't have anymore. I had 3 of them actually, 3 green towels, like bright green, like grass green, I would say, and that was the favorite color of before I came out in transition. And I took the towel and wrapped it around my throat as tight as I possibly could, pulling both ends, trying to fixate myself. Well, I didn't know that wouldn't kill me, but that's how bad my mind was. So and then the true me inside, who you see today, in fact, is the one that stopped me from doing it. And that's why I had my talk teacher artist. I was gonna put it on this side, but he put it on that side instead. I don't know why, but anyways, he thought it'd be better over there. So, but I actually like it there now because I can look at it more closer. And every time I'm depressed and down, I can look at that and say, I remember. It reminds me how I'm still standing. But to me, this tattoo is semicolon means it's a continuation of. And so I'm continuing to live, and I'm standing. I'm still standing. I'm moving forward in life. It also has a double meaning for me personally because it enabled the writer in me. So I'm a writer. So semicolon is a symbol that you would use for writing. And my days, I still have suicidal thoughts were still in my mind up until almost 6 years ago. Is when I last had a suicidal thought, and it's because I went on HRT, hormone replacement therapy. When I got cleared, officially given the green light to be on hormones, April 21st of 2013. But I didn't have time to do that day, because I had to go to work. So the very next day, I was planning before work, I was going to walk over to CVS and go get my first dosage of estradiol, which I've been on for almost 6 years. And that has been gradually, you start slowly, and then they bump you up. Right now, I'm at 10 milligrams a day. Someone has asked me, actually, is that a little too high to be on that? Because they think, well, I can be dangerous for my health. But my doctor knows what he's doing. He slowly got me there. I'm hoping sometime between this year and next year, don't know when yet, restart working towards my surgery. I was going to plan on having it this year, but COVID finally officially hit me hard. No, I don't have it. I thought I had it last year. But a very mild version of it. But the thing is, I work at Indiana University, and they have moved classes to only online. Unless you have a lab, then you'd be in person. But right now, they're only having management and students work. So anybody who's not management or a student, student worker, you don't get to work. So I'm on what they call furlough. So I still have a job because I'm on contract, so they can't get rid of me. So I'm on furlough. I'm supposed to return back to work sometime in June. I think June 8th. I think what it is. Until I hear from the notice. For the notice, that's why I'm planning on going back to work. But I don't know what building they're going to put me in, and who's my management, my coworkers. I'm kind of worried about that. But anyways, this tells you the struggle that I've had to go through, and all these bills that being trying to be passed, and that the one that did pass in Arkansas, sadly, after the governor had vetoed it, his legislation turned around, who put that bill on his desk, turned around and voted it anyways and put it into place. And it's very dangerous to youth, trans youth. I mean, I know from my standpoint, the time I was off hormones for 2 days, back in August of 2019, because I had my gallbladder removed. My gallstones completely filled up my gallbladder, so I had that removed. And so I couldn't be on hormones a day of surgery. And then I just was off a little off, and because I was recovering, I just didn't think about it the next day, so I didn't do hormones for 2 days. I did what you shouldn't do. I would not advise it. but I was desperate because I realized how badly I was doing mentally for those 2 days of not being hormones. I wasn't suicidal, but I was getting dangerously in a bad way, mental wise, and I was desperate to get back into a good mental state, so I made it my dosages very fast to get back into it, which I would strongly advise against, but I was desperate, so I just did for me. And my mental health started going back better again, but I need to have surgery. And I decided recently that I'm gonna have surgery of all kinds. I'm gonna have FFS. I'm gonna be as far as FFS, I'm gonna have my hairline reduction, and then my brow lift. That's why I'm planning on at least having him at least try this, and then have hair implants. Because you can't see it, but I have hair missing in some areas right here. I have up in this bang area, so I have this hairband in, so you can't really see that. But then I have hair back here in the crown missing. I know I am taking finasteride, so might keep me from having that surgery. But I hear I still would have it right here at least. But I also want to have I have a good cup size. I have a 36B. I still want a 36C. So that's what I want. And I want to have laser hair removal. And I have my makeup on, so you can't see all the laser hair that I have off. But anyways, without makeup on, you can still tell that I still shave. I do closer shave these days because a drag queen taught me on how to get close to shape possible, and it does work. But I still want to have laser hair removal, so I don't have to go out shaving. If I don't, I want to go out in public without makeup on. Lucky right now, since we're in a pandemic, I know a lot of people don't like wearing masks, but the thing is, I got this one here. I got the trans pride on one side and rainbow on the other. I have other ones. I have political ones. I have one that has Biden, Harris on it, in rainbow colors. But I have a lot of ones that aren't political either. They're just very girly because I'm very feminine. But people get gender identity and sexual orientation mixed up. Let's just put it this way: I'm a trans one who's a lesbian, who's polyamorous, and who's queer. And so that kind of doesn't work for me. So I kind of kill that argument. And on these bills that they want to have passed, but people like Caitlin Bennett, or as I like to call Gun Girl, she's dangerous. And then this Ben Shapiro who talks really, 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 really fast. That's because I think he does that because he knows if he slows it down, people can get argument-wise defeat him. So in order to keep that from happening, he talks really, 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 really fast. Classic Abby and his sister. Oh my God, she's horrible too. Of course, my worst one that I hate watching is and I only watch these people only through other channels, not them directly. Another one is bad is Girl Defined. That Girl Defined got me suspended a while back from Twitter. I believe it was Bethany. Bethany, if you're watching this, you just make me very angry. You go on this high horse how it's God's design to live. That if it's God's design for me to be a woman, that he would maybe a woman. No, God actually made me trans. I am exactly how God made me, and I'm living by God's design as a trans woman. Yes, trans people can be Christians, but these people like Bethany especially, and Kristen and Girl Defined do not think so. Well, let me tell you, they are flat out wrong. There's more than two genders, contrary to what Marjorie Taylor Greene says. The nut job who's in Congress representing Georgia, which Georgia had two people that came in, it was good, but then they brought her in too, so Georgia's actually one of the states that's one to pass anti-trans legislation too. Tennessee's on there. Indiana's going to try. My state is going to try. But lucky for me, my governor, who's Republican, has vowed to stay fighting one way or the other. He's to be neutral, but he's still doing nothing. Is not going to do help either. But at least it's better than a drug attacking us. But anyways, if you want to watch a good channel, watch Sam's Collins and Samantha Lux. I would definitely plug her. Christine, hope I'm saying her name incorrectly. Christina Mignoni. Oh yeah, I love that girl. She's a really good girl. She's like, but also Dear Mr. Atheist, not an atheist, I still like watching his channel. He's very informative. In fact, I would say, Dear Mr. Atheist, I know that you've recently got your vaccine. I hope you feel better soon enough. I hope you're back and ready to attack on anti-LGBTQ plus people again. We need you back in the saddle as soon as possible. And also another one I like to plug too is if I can think of her name. Oh yeah, Jacqueline Glenn. I love Jacqueline Glenn. She's an amazing woman. Please check out these channels. They're very, very good. And how they can counter these points of Girl Defined, Paul and Morgan, another one I can't stand. And I believe Paul, if you're watching this show, we all know you're abusing Morgan. You're being a big old bully. Just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you are the head honcho. You take a step back from Morgan, please. And Morgan, if you're getting abused by Paul, please get out of there as soon as possible and out of harm's way. He has corrupted you. He has brainwashed you. He's feeding you lies. But anyways, I'm constantly trying to combat fundamentalism Christianity. I grew up in it, and I have a hard stance against them. I grew up Church of Christ. Church of Christ, to me, those who grew up in it, I don't know what you think, but I feel like it's a subtle occult. They're not up in your face in it, but they're not exactly. They're a cult because they plant the seed in there. It's us versus the world, which is dangerous. My dad used Deuteronomy 22:5 against me, where it says, "But men should not wear women's clothing, and women should not wear men's clothing." But the church only enforces half of that, which is the male should not wear women's clothing. I am not wearing women. I'm not a man wearing women's clothing. I am a trans woman. This has been in me throughout my whole entire life. It's not going to go away. It's not a temporary obsession. Like my dad claims it is, because if it is a temporary obsession, then why would I been doing this all along? Parts of me have been coming out for years. There's nothing I can hide. This is who I am. And this will never go away. This is only getting stronger. This is why I need surgery. Anyways, if you want to check me out, I can't remember all my social medias. I have to put them out next time. But you can check me out at Sarah Ashley Cole 2018 on Instagram. And you can check me out, and I can. In the future, I will put my other links out there. I do not put my Facebook out there because I don't want just anybody getting on my Facebook. I've had too many men try to friend request me, and then they send me pictures I don't want to see. So that's why. Anyways, peace. Love you all. Love you. Good night. Time to take this ankle off so I can get comfortable. Till next time, stay beautiful and please stay informed. Please help the trans community and fight transphobia and all these other phobias like homophobia, xenophobia, ableism, misogyny. These are all like related. This is why I want to get rid of fundamentalism Christianity. Because no, I'm not saying all Christians are bad, because there's some good Christians out there. Like God is Gray. That's another channel I'd watch, and she's an excellent woman. She's a woman of love. She loves all. She's what true Christianity is. If you live here in Bloomington, Indiana, I'm not tell you exactly where in Bloomington, Indiana, because I don't want to have visitors that I don't know personally coming to me. If you are in Bloomington, Indiana, please come to First United. Right now, we're doing still doing doing Zoom church because we're in a pandemic, of course, obviously. But when you're out in public, please wear a mask. Please practice social distancing. It's extremely important. We need to flatten the curve. The sooner we flatten the curve, the sooner we can go back out in public and not wearing a mask. And please be kind to one another. Please, if you don't agree, it's all right. We all have opinions. We all have diverse opinions. But please be kind to one another. Be respectful of one another. We're all human beings trying to get to this thing called life. Till next time, please check me out when I come back. I don't know. I can't give you a schedule, but I'll try to get to you as best I can. I want to do this more often, but I don't know when I can put it up yet. Because mental health it's not easy. Till next time, till next time, be beautiful all. Peace. Love you all. Good night.